Happy Halloween everyone! In this video we'll celebrate one of the best days of the year by drawing these 3 terrifying zombies, step by step and in real time, using Inkscape entirely. If you would like to learn how to make this, but you aren't familiar with Inkscape, make sure to check this video, which has everything you'll need to follow along and more, link in the description, along with all my other step-by-step tutorials. By the way, if you want to support the channel, you can take a look at my Inkscape courses, which range from character design to background design to game art and more. Right now I'm having a special sale of all my courses, all 10 of them, about 70 plus hours of content, all for the price of one. This is only for a limited time while I'm finished a course I'm working on, which will be added in an update once it's done. Link in the description. Continuing with the tutorial. Let's start with the body of the first zombie. Grab the pen tool, shortcut B, and using straight lines, so click without dragging, make this trapezoidal shape. Let's sculpt out the nose and mouth. Switch to the node tool with the end key, and adjust the position of the nodes so it looks like this. Then double click on the path to add the nodes and adjust them like I'm doing here. We want a rounded head, so select the node here at the top and click on this button in the tool controls of the node tool to transform it into a smooth type node. Adjust it with the handles if you need. We want a sad expression, so with the node tool, click on the section of the mouth to curve it up. Let's make the ears. Switch to the pen tool and make this shape. Then switch again to the node tool and select these 2 nodes at the side. Transform them to smooth using the smooth type button like we did before. And adjust the shape of the ear if you want. Don't forget to make a little line here to indicate some detail. We want the zombie to be walking like a zombie, so switch to the object tool with S and select everything. Click on the path again to show the rotation controls and rotate it a bit. To make the legs, grab the pen tool again and make these 2 really long rectangles like this. These are gonna be the legs of the pants. To make the shoes, make this shape with the pen tool. Now smooth the node at the corner with the smooth type button to round it off. Adjust it. To make the other shoe, we can just duplicate this one we already made. Select it with the object tool and hit Ctrl and D. Move it to the other side and rotate it into position. To make the arms, grab the pen tool again and make this rectangular shape with one side wider. With the node tool, bend the sides a bit so it looks more natural. We need to make the hands. This is gonna be the most complex shape we are gonna do. Just follow what I'm doing. With the pen tool, draw a shape like this. While the sharp fingers look interesting, this is not what we want. To smooth them, there is a really nice feature of the program that does not require we use the smooth type button. Just hold shift as you drag from the 2 sides of the node to pull out the handles with the node tool. This allows you to introduce a curvature in a very controlled way. Repeat this with all the fingers. Finally, we want the thumb. We are drawing it separate because we're gonna reuse this in other places. We don't want the thumb there in that position always. So make this shape with the pen tool. And again, smooth the corner with shift. The other arm is just gonna be a copy of this one. Select everything with the object tool and duplicate it with Ctrl and D. Move it up and adjust it if you want. And here comes to play what I mentioned of not wanting the thumb there. Just move it to be down here, so it won't look as obvious that the entire arm was duplicated. It is helpful to give it some color so we can place the rest of the shapes, but I don't want to give it the colors quite yet. I prefer to leave that for later. For now, select everything and give it a random color from the palette. We just want the shapes to be filled with something. Now it's easier to see the depth order, which shapes are on top of which. To put them in the right order, we can use these buttons over here in the tool controls of the object tool. Or we can use shortcuts. Of course, I recommend you to learn how to use the shortcuts as soon as possible. And here comes a great place to practice. Just put the shapes in the right order. Remember that if you select multiple shapes, then the entire group of shapes will be moved as a single unit, which is gonna be useful in some parts. Continuing with the face. We want to give it some common hair. Draw this shape with the pen tool. Using the palette, you can give it full black, and move the ear to be on top of the hair. Now, using the technique of holding Shift to introduce a control curvature to the nose, adjust it so the hair looks rounded like mine's. The eyes. Grab the ellipse tool and make an stretch ellipse like this. You may want to give it full white using the palette. Duplicate this object and move it to the other side. Squash it horizontally with the black arrows and move it up a bit. You can also rotate them so they look more interesting. To make the iris, grab the ellipse tool again and draw a smaller ellipse. Duplicate them and make them of different sizes so it has this zombie look. Speaking of zombie looks, we need some bugs under the eyes. So with the pen tool, draw this triangular shape and smooth the bottom node by going to the smooth type button. Adjust it if you need. Give it color and move it below the eye shape. You can duplicate this shape with Ctrl D and move it below the other eye as well. For the teeth, these are just two rectangles. Okay, now for the rest of the body. We want a shirt, and for that we're gonna need to follow a quick process. With the pen tool, draw what you want the shirt and complete the shape by overlapping the area you want it in. Now duplicate the body shape, and without moving anything, shift select the last shape you drew and hit Ctrl and asterisk to intersect them with a Boolean intersection. Now the shirt shape fits exactly in the area of the body. But now we want to make it more zombie-like. We want to show some damage. With the pen tool, make this shape at the bottom of the shirt. Then shift select the shirt shape, the last shape we built using the Boolean intersection, and hit Ctrl and minus to perform a Boolean difference. This will carve out the area of this shape into the shirt shape. Now you adjust it by switching to the node tool and moving the nodes in the shirt shape. Following the same process, let's make some bite here at the leg. Make this shape and perform a Boolean difference with the leg shape. But now the leg is missing, so draw this rectangular shape and move it below the pants. Speaking of the pants, let's make further damage. Again, make this spiky shape on the bottom of the legs of the pants, the two of them. You may need to adjust the shoe so it won't look like it's floating there. Do the same for the sleeves. Draw the shape with the pen tool and then perform a difference with the sleeve shape. Adjust the arm if you need it. And the final detail before moving on, zombies need decaying flesh, and this is just gonna be some blob shapes on the face. Just grab the pen tool and make these random shapes. Select all the nodes with the node tool and smooth them so they look organic. Adjust the shapes if you need. And we got the drawing made. Now let's give it some color. First of all, we no longer can use the palette. It's too limited. We need the fill and stroke dialog. Go to Object, Fill and Stroke. Here you got a wheel of color and the HSL color sliders. In these sliders you can input a number for each value of the color. This means that you can copy my exact colors if you want by looking at the number right next to the slider. From now on, to speed things up, I'm gonna be zooming in to this area and pausing for a second so it's easier for you to follow along. Of course, I encourage you to play around with your own colors, but I'll zoom in for those of you who want to be as close to my version as possible. Okay, select all the objects that are gonna be the skin and give them this color. This style is not gonna use line art, so don't forget to remove it. You can do this by shift-clicking on the first swatch to apply the null value to the stroke. The skin damage is gonna be this value. The main shape of the shirt is gonna be this color. And the sleeves are gonna be of a slightly different color so they are visible. The jeans are gonna be this color. And the shoes are gonna be full black. You can just apply the swatch from the palette. The eyes are not gonna be full white, they're gonna be this color. The bags this color. And finally the teeth, this color. And we finished our first character. This second character is my favorite. Grab the pen tool and make these rectangles. Try to follow my shapes as closely as you can. With the node tool, smooth the corners of the torso using the shift drag method, so it looks less geometric. For the pants, just round the bottom off. For the shirt, round the top and bottom like this. Finally the head. Smooth the corners and place it like this. And we are done with the base. We can reuse a shoe from the previous zombie. Just grab it and duplicate it. Move it to the feet and adjust it by scaling it so it fits. We want the feet to be like this. One going in one direction and another going in the opposite. We can also copy the hand and move it to the other arm. I think we can start to adjust the depth order, so give it some random color and using the shortcuts move the shapes so they look correct. Let's continue with the hand. This zombie is gonna have a more pointy ear. With the pen tool make this triangular shape and bend the two sides. Add a small line like this to indicate some detail in the ear. This one is gonna have a big mouth. With the pen tool draw this big C shape overlapping the head. We want this frown to be carved in, so we need to perform a boolean difference. Shift select the head and the mouth and hit Ctrl and minus. It may be that some parts of the torso are visible. In that case, just adjust it with the node tool. Now for the other side of the mouth. just make another C shape to close it. This one is gonna be sent behind. Don't forget to give it a temporal color. The hair is just this shape. Make sure to give it a color and move the ear in front. For the eyes, once again grab the ellipse tool and make a bit of a squash down ellipse. Duplicate the other eye and squash it horizontally with the black arrows. Make the bags under the eyes just like we did before. Don't forget to give all the shapes a temporal color. And two big bushy eyebrows. Soften the corners a bit by holding Shift and dragging from the nose. I think a mustache would look nice on this character. Just make another rectangular shape following the shape of the mouth and again, soften the corners with the Shift drag method. Two smaller ellipses with the ellipse tool for the iris. Make them looking in different directions so it looks goofier. And just like before, two rectangular teeth made with the pen tool. Now let's go back to the body and clothing. I want to do something on this guy's arm. So just like before, make these triangular shapes and perform a Boolean difference to carve the sleeve. And here comes the fun part. I want this guy to have the arm chewed off. So with the pen tool, draw this shape. Round off this nose with the smooth type button and adjust it so it looks like mine. This guy needs pants, so we're gonna use the same technique we used to give the previous zombie a shirt. Just draw a shape that covers and intersects the bottom part of the torso. Duplicate the torso. Shift select the new shape you made and hit Ctrl and asterisk. Adjust it if you need. One final clothing detail. I think we need some sort of neck detail, so make this shape. I got no idea what this shape is meant to be. I guess it's a V-neck sweater or something like that. And the final detail before moving on to the color, the skin damage. Again, make some random shapes with the pen tool and then smooth them with a smooth button. And now let's move on to the colors. Again, you're encouraged to play by yourself and find the colors you like the most. For my version, I decided to use these colors. For the skin, go for this green. The skin damage is this color. The eyes. The bags under the eyes. The iris. The teeth. The inside of the mouth. Now for the clothes. The main shirt is this color. And the sleeves are this. The opening is this color. And the pants are this. The shoes are full black. You can use the palette for that. And we got our second zombie done. For the final zombie I wanted to make something different. Maybe this guy is less of an undead and more of a just dead. So we are drawing it resting on a tombstone. In fact, we're gonna start there. With the pen tool make this rectangle with this shape on top. Notice that it's slightly inclined to the side to imply some perspective. Select the top node and smooth it. Give it a random color so we can see better. Duplicate this shape and send it below the other. Give it another different color. Black is fine. Adjust it with the node tool so it looks like this. You may need to draw another shape here on this side. Now to make the zombie. With the pen tool draw this arched shape. Let's make the nose. Draw this triangle from the top. Now select the two shapes and hit Ctrl and plus to merge them together into a single shape. Now make the frown. Make this shape with the pen tool. Perform a Boolean difference by selecting the two shapes and hitting Ctrl and minus. You may need to quickly adjust some rogue nose result of the Boolean union. Take your time so the path looks nice. Anyway, add two rectangles for the legs. We can really use some of those shoes we already made, so you can duplicate one and bring it in. Rotate it and scale it into position. We don't need the other shoe. Let's close the mouth. Just like before, make another C shape that covers the entire mouth. But here I followed a slightly different process than before. Here I just deleted the excess so the inside part of the mouth fits perfectly within, using a Boolean difference. The end result is the same. I think I did that because I didn't give it the shape's feel yet. A rectangle for the arm, and we can once again reuse the hand by duplicating it and place it into position. And since we are taking already made shapes, we can take the bone because our zombie is lacking one leg. Put it into position, and it would be a good idea to damage the bands by using a Boolean difference, like we did before. Make the pants once again by using an intersection with the torso. Now for the face. With the ellipse tool make these two ellipses like this. Don't forget the bags under the eyes. In the farther away eye, the bag goes through the nose, like this. Make the irises again looking at different directions. I want to add something else. A bite at the top of the head. Just make the same shape you did with the bite in the leg. Smooth the corners so it looks more like a bite. Then use a difference to carve the shape in. I think as a final detail I wanted to show a bit of the brains. This is not hard to do. Just make this a spiky shape and smooth the corners with a smooth button. The ear is super simple. Just make half a circle with the pen tool. And the final detail, the skin damage. Now for the color. The tombstone will have this color. The skin will be this purple one. And the skin damage, this. Here I also retouch a couple of things that bother me, like the lack of thumb on the hand. Continuing with the color, the bags will have this color. And the eyes, this one. The brains will be this pink. The inside of the mouth. The torso section of the jeans. And the legs of the jeans. And I decided to add a bit of a detail in the tombstone to help the composition, just a rectangle to help frame even more the zombie, which I gave it this straw color. Finally, a quick shadow to ground them. And we are done with the characters. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was so fun to make. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment telling me what you thought about it. Have a great Halloween, everybody.